here to discuss with you how Joseph Kony can be arrested and brought to justice. That's why I'm here. I love this idea that the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court talk to the citizens of the world to explain what we are doing. Because in fact, to stop crimes, we develop in the national systems the idea of judges and prosecutors collect evidence, present charges, order arrest, and then the police go and arrest the guys. That's what you know. And in fact, that is a miracle, but today it exists. In 1998, a global court was created to prosecute the worst crimes in the world. And I have the privilege to be the prosecutor of this global court. But as Bobby said, the court, we work as prosecutors, we collect evidence in a very careful manner. We collect evidence in Uganda, more than 60 missions, collecting information. We present the case before the judges, and they can issue to the judges warrants. And as he said, then the states have to arrest him. And that is the missing part here. But interestingly, what happened is, in the law, in the mind of the lawyers, the law is for the country. So people, the law started with the land and a king who controlled the land and have an army to monopolize violence. And then the citizens start to say, hey guys, these soldiers are attacking me, so the law was established. And then judges and prosecutors. It took centuries. And in 1998, a global court was created with no king, no land, no citizens, with judges and prosecutors. And that's why I'm here, finding my citizens, finding my community. That's why I'm so happy to be here. Johansson, where are you? Johansson? Ah, yeah, you get a microphone. Because yesterday I came here, and he was driving the car. He's 19 years old, from Pennsylvania. You know him? I asked Johansson, why are you doing this? And that's what he explained to me.
I believe that we're doing this because, you know, we've seen the stories, we've seen the movies through like this grassroots movement, and it's the same reason why every single person's in this room, because we believe that this war can come to an end, and that our brothers and our sisters that are being affected by Joseph Kony and his terror, that it doesn't need to happen anymore. We'll stand up for it, and you know, we'll spend the money to come all the way across the country just to make sure that our voice is heard, that this war comes to an end. And it's the same reason why, you know, when we found out about it, like me, I found out I was in my room back home and everything, just watching the movie and just sitting there with my air condition and, you know, my bed and my blanket and a hot plate of food, and just thinking, why does this child have to live like this? He's the same age as me. He's the same age as all of us, and there's no reason why he should be there. It's the reason why we're standing up for him, because we can.
So he's not from Uganda, and he cares about Uganda. Who are you are from Uganda? Can you raise your hand, those who are from Uganda? Who are you are not from Uganda? That's the new thing. That's the new thing. Those who are not from Uganda care about people in Uganda. And that makes a difference, because we are an institution, but we need citizens. And you are the citizens. Yeah, because that's the point. The movie is about what's the community today. Yes, San Diego is a community. Pennsylvania is a community. Gulu is a community. But also we live in a global community. And that, you are the vibrant citizen of this global community. That is the movie about, how you are building a global community. Let me present what we exactly are doing. And let me say something else about how important it is for these people in Uganda to learn what you are doing. Because as you say, they are neglected. Just that you are committed with them, make a difference for them. One of my investigators was interviewing a girl, a 16-year-old girl, who was abducted when she was 12. And she escaped with her baby. After 3 days of the interview, my investigator told her, okay, we finish. And then the girl started to cry. She could not stop. So my investigator was trying to apologize, saying, I'm sorry, it's not my fault, I had to do all this question, I need to have to be very precise. And the girl said, don't worry, I'm not sad. This is the happiest day in my life. No one in my life paid to me so much attention as you. And that I feel today you are doing, you know? Exposing yourself to rescue them. And the issue for me is explain to you how this institution, I'm a public servant, I'm working for you. I like to explain what we are doing, and then you can mobilize effort to arrest Kony, because that, I think, is a solution for this problem. Let me present 2 issues. The first question is about why do I think it is important to arrest Joseph Kony? First, for the last 23 years, Joseph Kony has abducted children, 8, 10-year-old boys and girls, from the schools, the churches, the homes. In northern Uganda, but also in southern Sudan. You know how the children are brutally trained to kill, to rape, to pillage. And you know how those who disobey were simply killed. Imagine if today, here, LRA come and abduct us, about you. And they will choose the beautiful girls to give to Kony and the commanders. They will force the others to be killers. Imagine. This could not happen here, and it happened there for the last 22 years. I was reading a beautiful article from Elizabeth Rubin in the New Yorker, and it's from 1998. It's from 1998, and she's describing how girls in the boarding school were abducted and happened again and again and again. That's why we had to stop Kony. Kony's aim is basically to have sex slaves, to have girls. Kony's aim is to have followers who obey his orders, to have his small kingdom in the bush. That's his aim. And doing that, he displaced almost 1.8 million people in North Uganda. So the first issue is for 23 years, Kony was doing this. But now it's a formal issue. 4 years ago, the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant against Joseph Kony for crimes against humanity and war crimes. 12 counts of crimes against humanity and 21 counts of war crimes. Joseph Kony is formally indicted for the crimes of murder, enslavement, sexual enslavement, and forcible enlisting of children. And this is an institutional decision who has institutional consequences. Following the arrest warrant, the Sudan, who was supporting him for a while, just removed him, forced to leave the Sudan. That's why Joseph Kony troops went to Garamba Park. And that was the beginning of the last Juba talks. The problem is, to arrest him, the world was trying to appease him, and it's not working. For the last 3 years, Joseph Kony kept in captivity during the conversations hundreds of children. And he was expanded his criminal activities. He attacked civilians in the Central African Republic and also in the Democratic Republic of Congo. At the end of 2007, in the middle of the process of negotiation, Joseph Kony was promising to sign a peace agreement, but at the same time, he was organizing a new abduction campaign. In 2008, Kony was abducting new children in Central African Republic and in the Democratic Republic of Congo, because well before the operation to arrest him. So before someone tried to arrest him, he was attacking almost 1,000 children again. Last Christmas, I don't know if you know these details, the NRA was trying to retaliate because they were trying to arrest them. They surrounded the village in Congo, waiting for the people during the Christmas party. They were waiting for them, waiting for the beginning of the Christmas celebration. They went there, killed everyone, they stayed there, they eat the food, they slept there, and they leave. They killed from December 24 to January 2009, they killed 850 new people in Congo, just in Congo. Joseph Kony, and this could be important for your campaign, because here there's a lot of concern about what happened in Sudan. Joseph Kony also started attacking civilians in southern Sudan, again, and this is threatening the delicate balance between the North and the South, secured through the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. So Kony in the past was used by the Sudanese government to attack the South, and it's a danger that will happen again. So it's not just about killings and attacks in Uganda, Central African Republic, Congo, Southern Sudan, and affecting the peace process in Southern Sudan. That is happening today. That's why Joseph Kony has to be arrested. And my fourth point, so it's about the crime he committed for 23 years, it's about the arrest warrant, it's about the 3 years. But my fourth point is that it's no other way to stop him. He was involved in 6 different peace processes. And he used then this peace process to regroup and attack again. In many cases, systematically, he targeted his own delegates to the peace process. In 2004, he targeted Brigadier Kolo, who had to escape, because his mediator was attacked. As soon as the mediator began to be involved, Kony tried to kill him. Interestingly, in 2005, September 2007, he killed Vincent Otti, his second in command. A very powerful guy. Second in command, killed by Kony. And the reason is because Otti was involved in the demobilization idea. He was moving there. So Otti was the last old guy. Now the new number 2, Odiambo, and the number 3, Ongwen, are abductees. So the killers are victims. All the Kony army now are trained by him to obey. The issue is why we learn Kony will never negotiate, and maybe the Western authorities will attempt to do it, but as a prosecutor, my evidence showed me that his goals are different. He's not looking for something different. He just wants to use girls as sex slaves. He wants to have an army of young boys following his order. That he wants, and he has what he wants. That's why he will not negotiate. When you see the condition he imposed is to keep the abductees, to keep the army. That's what he wants. The problem is he is using negotiation to buy time. He uses international money to buy weapons, to regroup and rearm. And let us not repeat the errors of the past. Of course, there is a need for negotiations, but between the government and the Acholi community, for the reintegration of former combatants, but not with Joseph Kony. The arrest warrant are against Joseph Kony, Vincent Otti, who was killed, and the current 2 1/3 of the group, Dominic Ongwen and Odiambo. The second question, so that's why we have to arrest him. He committed enough crimes. We know all solutions. It's time to arrest him. I'm very pleased with the proposal of Invisible Children. That is feasible to arrest Joseph Kony today. As normally the court has not its own police and relies, as any other court, on the state's forces. But as a prosecutor, I have a mandate to galvanize efforts to arrest. And I can tell you the following. First, why is it feasible to arrest Kony? Because you will not defeat Kony fighting a war with him, because he has an army of abducted children. He abducted more. If you attack and kill some of his soldiers, he will attack more. That's what he did. So, but at the same time, it's an army of forced to fight. They are not fighting because they want. Kony is forcing them to fight. The soldiers are receiving limited ration of ammunition to ensure that they will not use the ammunition to rebel. Joseph Kony has managed to impose his will on the group through terror and violence. So the soldiers are also victims. They can be demobilized and reintegrated, benefiting from the agreements reached in Juba. In fact, I remember that during the Juba talks, the UN Special Envoy, former President Chisano, told us that what Joseph Kony objected the most were the radio programs informing his troops that they were not sold by the court and could safely defect. And in fact, he said he's attacking the Congolese citizens because they were helping those who defect. So it's an army of soldiers who want to defect. That's why it's a unique case in which if Joseph Kony is arrested, most of the LRA will collapse. There is no useful, let me repeat, there is no useful to wage a war on the LRA. It has to be an arrest operation. Joseph Kony needs to be tracked down. The second point I'd like to make is there are no legal or political obstacles to conduct an arrest operation. Last December, the United Nations Security Council has affirmed the need for a joint effort to address the security threat posed by the LRA and recall the importance of the arrest warrants. All the countries in the region have expressed support to the arrest of Joseph Kony. The government of the Democratic Republic of Congo is committed to support efforts to arrest him, and in fact, he has requested the support of the United Nations to carry out the arrest. So, a coalition of the willing supporting such an arrest will be active on the basis of an international arrest warrant supported by the UN Security Council and with the agreement of the countries concerned. Legally, everything is ready. What we need now are sophisticated capabilities for an arrest operation. You don't arrest Kony with conventional forces. You need intelligence, planning, and special forces. These are rare and expensive capabilities that countries of the region do not have at their disposal. Past operations have failed. My conclusion, the next operation requires more planning, more resources, and more international involvement, not less. Let me finish by thanking you and warning you. I saw what happened in the movie, so you have to be warned. It would be interesting. It's amazing how you are taking the core decision seriously. You are taking the institutional decision of the UN Security Council seriously. You are seriously demanding action to your states. As members of the global community, you are doing your part. But as you know, maybe you will not get immediately what you are asking. The world has an enormous ability to deny, to ignore massive atrocities when there are no enough economic or political interest. You are changing the world, but it will take more than one day. And let me talk about this, about success and timing. This is for you, Gary. Because I told yesterday the story and he asked me to repeat to you. And the story is about Luis Jimenez de Azúa. He was a senator from Spain in 1930. But when Franco won the Civil War, Jimenez de Azúa went to the exile. No more senator. But he kept fighting for the democratic ideas, and he became the most important criminal law professor of Ibero-America. He was teaching at the University of Buenos Aires. But in 1966, a dictatorship took power in Argentina. They fired Professor Jimenez de Azúa from the university. No more teaching for him. Exiled from Spain, exiled from this university. Jimenez de Azúa died 2 years later with the feeling of failure. Sad story. A few years later, even worse, a new and even worse dictatorship took power in Argentina. They killed thousands of people. But this time, it was a different ending. In 1985, the top commanders were prosecuted and convicted by a panel of 6 judges. I was the deputy prosecutor in the case. 5 of the 6 judges were the students of Luis Jimenez de Azúa. The prosecutor was a student of Jimenez de Azúa. I was a student of his student. So 17 years later, Jimenez de Azúa won. We put them in jail. How you say the journey is what?
The journey is the destination.
The journey is the destination, okay. That is. The journey is over. Today is the day, tomorrow is the day. What you are doing today is important. You are giving blood to this institutional system. You are changing this. Maybe Joseph Kony will not be immediately arrested. But you have to be very proud of these coming 2 days. You are providing foundations for international and national institutions. You are requesting to us, international or national public servants, to fulfill our duties. You are here standing for Joseph Kony victims, for those children abducted, for those girls raped. Thank you very much for that.